It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new Newcastle United. That's right, I'm Ty Knight for TK24 Sports. Now in today's show, we're going to look at part one of the part four documentary series we're going to do. Very short ones, of course, looking at the takeover for Newcastle United. What does it mean? What's going to happen with the club? Because it's still very early days and no one's really going to know, and everyone's going to have their speculations and stories like myself, trying to bring to you as best as we possibly can. So if you're ready, sit down. This won't take too long, and hopefully you'll like exactly what we've got to say to you. Here we go. So Newcastle have been taken over. Mike Ashley, shall I say, his 14-year tenure as Newcastle United's owner has now departed. Now with the 4 people involved in this takeover, that's right, there's 4. Everyone's just looking at the Saudis, big wealth, thinking it's just these people involved. No, there's 4 other firms involved, and we're going to go into that one in part 2 of this docuseries to give you a good behind the scenes as to what you can expect from these 4 people. When I say 4 people, 4 firms, what they're going to give you. But in just this show, Newcastle United fans, you need to be excited. This is a great monument victory for Newcastle United. You can see everyone else is just throwing as much shade as possible for Newcastle, thinking this is bad for football, all the wealth, all of this, the human rights and blah, blah. I'm thinking to myself, you guys can come up with so much garbage, it's unbelievable. If you can taste it in your mouth and you can verbalize it, that's what's happening. Because no one talks about things that's happened in America's history, England's history, or Russia's history, and you talk about human rights. I mean, get over yourselves. You're just worried because your seat at the table is now under threat. And when I say now under threat, I'm talking of the likes of Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal. You think of the 4 powerhouses. So what did I say? Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. That's 5. I'm not putting Spurs or anyone else like that in the mix because these 5 have good history in the Premier League. You can look at and say other teams such as the Spurs, now the Everton, Villa with newfound money as well, are trying to get a seat at that table where there's 5, when there's really and truly 4 going for it. It's now hard. Newcastle coming onto the scene. Now Newcastle is not going to be a powerhouse in the beginning. They've got a few things to talk about. I've just seen another interview just now where they're talking about what they need to do. They need to go away. They need to look at X, Y, and Z. But pretty much they've done their due diligence. That was a good PR spin. Now, to me, they're not going away for 2 weeks to come back and deliberate whether we're doing good in the table and whether, Steve Bruce is the right manager. They know he's not the right manager. Look at the man's record right here. He has a losing record with Newcastle. He's had so many games involved already. Look at the amount of games he's played. Look at how many games he's won. Look at the amount of games he's lost. Look at the amount of games he's drawn. The amount of goals he's failed to score. The more goals he's conceded. It's dreadful. And Steve Bruce knows this himself. He's already come out and said this is a great monumental day for Newcastle United. He's happy for the club, the fans. This is what he's always hoped for in some sense. But he's realistic in what could happen next. And if he's not in charge of his 1,000th game in the Premier League, of course, with many other teams, against Spurs, it's no surprise. Because he now knows himself, with his losing record, he's not going to survive this. I mean, if you've got a losing record, you're not going to survive. But the big question is, who is going to take over? I've drawn up 4 managers, but of course, 2 of them will not leave right now. Now, of course, I put Sean Dyche in next. I think, he maybe should have a crack. And then you've got Graham Potter, and you think, oh, really? But the 2 that people are kind of running with right now are your Frank Lampards and your Contes of the world. Now, with these 2 managers, you got to think Frank Lampard more than likely could go for the job. And I think he should if he's been given an opportunity. He should have turned this one down because he'll be backed. Conte, on the other hand, is the tricky one. And that's just because of he's out of the job. You look at the squad. Can you do something with this squad? I think the answer is yes. You can get in there and the players will get a lift and something else could just happen around the stadium, the buzz, the fans. It will just be a joyous momentum occasion for Newcastle United. But the question is, how much will they give him? And no doubt, every other club knows that Newcastle's going to have some money. It's Newcastle's job is to, when they go into the negotiations, and when you look at the firms that they've got involved in this deal, I'm telling you, they have got this one sussed to a point. I mean, to a T. So the next manager coming in, this guy is not only just going to be backed, he's going to be backed financially, he's going to be backed with people who can negotiate, he's going to be backed with people who can get more money into Newcastle. This is such a massive win for Newcastle. And the way they were talking about, we're looking at every avenue within the club, not just winning on the pitch, but winning off the pitch too. because that's where Newcastle need to win, is winning off the pitch. But the only way they can do that is by having a good manager, a good product on the pitch, and a good position of fighting for the European places. Yeah, they may have to start with the Europa League, but then that also means that other teams are going to have to start looking over their shoulder. So for me, as part one of going into this, just giving my 2 cents on this, this is a good day. Part two is when we dig deeper. We start looking at the profiles of the owners who are coming in. What do they bring to the table? What is their background? How can they then improve Newcastle going forward? That's only going to come on Monday, of course. So make sure you watch on Monday for part two. Wednesday will be part three. And then concluding it will be part four. Because, of course, Newcastle take on Spurs. And let's see if Steve Bruce will be in charge then. And then we can see what direction this club is going to go in. So, yes, get ready. Part two is going to be electric. Part three is just going to be what the hell. Part four could be, wow, this is going to be epic for Newcastle. Arsenal, Everton, Spurs, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Did I say Man United? If I did, listen, the rest of the Premier League and a bit of Europe, watch out. Newcastle United are going to make waves and make good waves. And I, for one, as an Arsenal fan, I'm happy with this takeover. Because it's about time new, fresh blood comes into this competition. I hate the way other, these ex-owners are saying it's bad. Other YouTuber people making content saying this is bad for football. I don't like it. They're finding the easiest excuse, which is the human rights, to say this is the wrong takeover. This is a great takeover. Someone new, someone fresh, no one with not real great pedigree of not winning a major trophy for 55 plus years. Come on. This is fantastic. New blood, new money, new energy. Let's see what Newcastle can do. And I'll see you on Monday so you can see part two of this mini documentary, what we're putting together. I hope you like it. And make sure you subscribe and like and you turn that notification on, because when we do stuff like this, different to anyone else is going to do, you'll see why TK24 Sports is going to be the leading one very soon. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.